Hello everyone, it's Philipp from Limitless TCG and I'm here with Philipp from Limitless TCG. So, Philipp, we see your deck. We see you, Philipp Leciejewski, by the way, just so you don't confuse him with me, Philipp Schultz. Alright, here we go. You played Gardevoir Xerneas, so tell us first. Why did you play this deck? What were you thinking going to this tournament and what did you expect?
Well, I looked at the Anaheim Regionals results, and it looked like Darkrai Giratina, Yveltal, and also Mega Mewtwo were the most prominent and successful decks. Also Vespiquen, but due to Giratina, I figured that Vespiquen wouldn't be played much anymore. And against all the other decks I just mentioned, this is just a really good answer.
Alright, so you expected Dark decks and Mewtwo, yeah, I see. You have Darkness Resistance, you hit Mewtwo on Weakness, and you can deal quite a lot of damage, that's surely nice. So you ended up in top 16. How did your tournament went with this deck? And, well, how did it fit your expectations?
Well, actually, it started off pretty badly. I was like 2-1-1, but then I faced a lot of my expected matchups. I think on day one I hit like 5 like Dark decks and Mega Mewtwo, so that was pretty good. And yeah, then I went into day 2 with 6-1-2, so quite a good record. And I think, yeah, they won the deck, kind of bricked a couple of games in the beginning, but then it worked really well. Yeah, just as I expected it.
So yeah, in the end you lost your win and in against Gyarados. That surely was an unfortunate pairing, because, well, this doesn't look too good against decks that one-shot it. Do you
I
think...
don't even play any Gyarados counter like the guy in London played a Spinda. But that was just too random for me. I tried to keep this list as consistent as possible.
Yeah, Gyarados wasn't really big or expected. So, let's take a closer look at your list. Tell us a bit about your Pokémon line. We see that you play 4 Gardevoir and only 3 Xerneas. Sometimes we see that reversed. Sometimes we see 4-4. So how did you like the counts you picked?
Well, actually it started off being a 3-3 Gardevoir line, but I included the 4th Gardevoir because I felt it was pretty necessary. Mostly because if you prize one, even your good matchups can get quite close. Sometimes also you draw into them a lot easier, I guess. The 3 Megas is kind of simple because I also play 2 Super Rods. I can shuffle them back in if I need them, and it's usually not a problem to get out 2 or 3 brilliant Arrow Mega Gardevoirs, and also pricing them is not a huge issue. But pricing the basics is really bad, so this is why I played it this way. Also 3 Xerneas. Well, 3 Xerneas, obviously you want to start with them as much as you can, but 3 are fine. You still have quite a good percentage to start with them. I actually opened with Xerneas a lot. But even if I don't, I still have the chance to hit the turn 1 Geomancy because I also play the Max Elixirs. Yeah, I also play the Xerneas Break because I want to force my opponent into a 7-price game if they can get around the Geomancy. Because Xerneas Break is kind of an effective attacker, it deals quite a good amount of damage, and since you never want to attack with the basic Xerneas mid-game, this way you can keep up the 7-price game strategy.
Yeah, that makes absolutely sense. I think I too like this Pokemon line a lot. I cannot definitely understand why you play it like that. I figure the 4th Xerneas is just not worth the space. Truly would be nice, but yeah, I can understand that it's just not necessary. So your support and consistency line is pretty much standard for Sycamore 3 and 2 Lysander, for Versasika and 3 Male. Most decks play this these days, also for Ultra Ball. Then we see 4 Spirit Link, of course. For Fairy Garden, nothing too special there. Yeah, were only Switch cards. Did you ever consider playing any other Switch cards? Or were you always fine with just for Fairy Garden?
Well, obviously Fairy Garden is the most important one, and I figured I didn't have a lot of problems with like parasation or stuff like that. And actually, I also didn't know what to cut because Fairy Garden are sufficient to retreat. Um, but of course, there are sometimes situations where you would like an escape rope. But the most important thing is to keep the Fairy Garden in place, so I would never cut down on them. Um, and since most of the time you don't need more than 4 Fairy Garden, I didn't see a reason to include another Switch card.
Alright. So you also elaborated a little on your max elixirs. You said they're good to get your Xerneas going. I guess they bring a little speed. How much do you think they mattered in the end?
Well, obviously I opened with Gardevoir a lot, or with like the other Pokemon except for Xerneas, and actually quite a lot of times because of the 3 max elixirs I was able to still hit the Jungle Geomancy, and since that's like the most important thing against a lot of matchups, I figured they were pretty good. But also I don't play 4 max elixirs because obviously Geomancy takes energies out of the deck, and it's
Yep.
enough if I hit 1 because it most of the time will hit with 11 energies. So I try to get 1 or 2 off before the Geomancies, and after that they're trashy, so I don't want to draw into them anymore.
So, the biggest difference between this Gardevoir list and most Xerneas Gardevoir lists we've seen, especially Joe Bernard's, is that you chose to play Xperia. At least for me, that is the most striking difference. So, how good were Xperias, and yeah, did you like them, and how big would you say was the impact of them onto your games?
Yeah, obviously Brilliant Arrow does a lot of damage if you have a lot of energies in play, so another important thing is to keep them in play, and it's just not enough if you play Max Elixirs or Mega Turbos. Mega Turbos aren't really reliable. However, the XP shares are really good. You just attach them to like a Xerneas or a Hoopa or something, and then you just keep your energies in play, and even if your opponent gets a knockout on your Brilliant Arrow Gardevoir, you can keep up and take a revenge kill immediately afterwards. I usually found the games that I didn't draw into the XP shares to be the more difficult ones.
Alright. Then the last notable thing there's are those 2 Super Rods. Well, we see your lines are quite thin. You have 11 energy, so I think I totally see that they can be really great. Would you ever consider playing less Super Rods, or is 2 absolutely mandatory in your opinion?
Yeah, they're absolutely mandatory. I can't tell how many games it was, but I would have lost quite a lot of my games if I didn't play 2 Super Rods. They are not only important for the energies, but like to shuffle back in a Xerneas Break or the Despairy Gardevoir against a Mewtwo matchup, or like if you discard your Gardevoirs early on, you really want to shuffle them back, and only 1 Super Rod isn't really reliable because you also need to draw into it first. And even if I discard 1 in the early game, I'm still usually fine because I have another one. So I really like the 2 Super Rods. I wouldn't play anything else.
Alright. So we heard a lot about your list, about your tournament. You ended up in top 16, so tell us, as last thing, how satisfied were you with your result, and maybe what do you expect looking into the future?
Yeah, well, in the end I would have liked to make top 8, of course, but I think top 16 is fine. The list worked out pretty well, so I'm satisfied. But yeah, looking into the future, of course I would like to get a win in the regional eventually, and yeah, top 16 is not enough for me actually. But right now I'm kind of mixed feelings because also on one hand I'm satisfied, but on the other hand I think this deck could have gone further into the tournament.
Alright, great. Congratulations from my side. We'll see you guys next time.